Good morning. This is a video where I'm just going to read through the list of names of the characters. Some of the characters we will have been introduced to by the end of part 1. Others we'll meet later on. I will try to point out what these characters are mainly called. Um, but there are two caveats I want to add to this conversation before we go on. I know it seems like some of these characters have so many different names, and that can be intimidating. But, I was thinking if you took my name, for example, um, I could actually be called by quite a few different things that would still be considered my name. So, my full name is Nicholas Alexander Hayes. And you could call me Nicholas Alexander Hayes. You could call me Mr. Hayes. You could just call me Hayes. You could call me Alexander. Um, Probably wouldn't answer to that, but some people just go by their middle names. Or you could call me Nicholas, or Nick, or Nicky. Don't call me that. And in the past, when I was younger, a lot of my aunts would call me Nickel Pickle. Um, really, don't call me that one. But one name, and then it can just be broken apart to have all these other nicknames. And that's really what's going on mostly with these names. So, what I'll do is I'm going to read through the list of characters, which is below the video, and just kind of indicate what mostly you'll see. Now, the other caveat that I had with this is sometimes, depending on the translator, you might see different spellings, but don't worry about that. That is a translation issue, and that's something that we don't need to worry about. Okay, so here are the names for the characters in Crime and Punishment. So our main character is Rodion Romanovich Raskolnikov. Most of the time, he's going to be called Raskolnikov. Other than that, he'll be called Rodya. So most of the time, you're going to see Raskolnikov or you're going to see Rodya. Every once in a while, pretty rarely, you'll see Rodinko or Rodka. So Rodinka or Rodka. Rarely you'll see Rodion by itself, and occasionally, in a very formal setting, you'll see him addressed as Rodion Romanovich. Okay, so later on, we're going to be introduced to his mother, Pulcheria Alexandrovna Raskolnikov. Most of the time, she's going to be addressed as Pulcheria Alexandrovna, or just Pulcheria. We'll also get to meet his sister, Avdotya Romanovna Raskolnikov. And most of the time, she's going to be called Dunya, although sometimes she's going to be addressed by the nicknames Dunechka. And again, if it's a formal setting, you're going to see people use her first name and her middle name. Avdotya Romanovna. Avdotya Romanovna. So those are that's kind of like the main character and his family. Close to him is his friend, Dmitry Prokofyevich Razumikin. So Dmitry Prokofyevich Razumikin. This character is almost exclusively just called Razumikin. Um, okay, so then another family we're going to meet is the moneylender and her sister, and they are Alyona Ivanovna and Lizaveta Ivanovna. Um, and a lot of times, Alyona Ivanovna is just going to be called the moneylender or the pawnbroker. And Lizaveta Ivanovna is just going to be called Lizaveta. Okay. So another family we're going to be introduced to, and they're pretty important, but really you just have to worry about kind of three members. Like there are 6 people in the family, but really only 3 of them matter. So the father, the husband, Semyon Zakharovich Marmladov, he's mostly just going to be called Marmladov. His wife, Katerina Ivanovna Marmladov, she's mostly going to be called Katerina Ivanovna. Their daughter, who's actually a pretty important character, the eldest daughter, Sofia Semyonovna Marmladov. And most of the time, she's just going to be called Sonia. Really, for that mouthful, she's really just going to be called Sonia throughout most of the book. Every once in a while, she might be called Sonechka, but really just Sonia. And she has 3 younger step siblings. Polina Mikhailovna, which who is sometimes called Polya, Polinka, Polechka. Then she has another stepsister, Leona Mikhailovna, who's mostly just called Lida and sometimes Ladochka. And then she has a brother, Kolya Mikhailovich, and really sometimes he's called Kolka, but that's very rare. But the main characters that you need to remember from this family are Marmladov, the father, Katerina Ivanovna, the wife, and then Sonia. Okay. The next characters who are important are they're secondary characters, but they come in to influence the play. So there is Arkady Ivanov. Sorry, my cat is decided that he needs a lot of affection this morning, so I'm trying to multitask. So the next character, Arkady Ivanovich Svidrigailov. Svidrigailov is how you'll see his name most of the time. And he's Avdotia's, Dunya's former employer. So most of the time, he's just going to be called Svidrigailov. You will see references to his wife, which will be pretty important. And his wife is Marfa Petrovna Svidrigailov. So the next characters who are kind of important, Peter Petrovich Luzhin. Most of the time, you're going to see him just addressed as Luzhin or Peter Petrovich, and he is Avdotia's fiance, Dunya's fiance, and he will sometimes be accompanied by a friend Andrei Semyonovich Lebezhyenet, sorry, Lebezyetnikov. Sorry, it is a mouthful. Lebezyetnikov. Um, he comes in so rarely that um, I wouldn't worry about him too much. Um, the other one, then we just have a few more characters. These are minor characters, but they play um, a pretty important role. Um, so the Marmeladov's landlady, Amalia Ivanovna Lipveshel, um, she she's German, which her ethnicity actually comes into play in how people address her. And even though her real name is Amalia Ivanovna, um, Katerina Ivanovna, the wife of Marmeladov, will call her Amelia Ludvigovna, Ludvigovna, um, which is kind of a ethnic slur. Um, then the next character, Zosimov, just Zosimov, no first name, no last name, and he's a doctor. We'll see several times. Um, Later on, we'll see Alexander Grigorovich Zamyatov. Um, he's mostly going to be addressed as just Zamyatov. And the last character who's going to be pretty important is Porfiry Petrovich, and he's a police examiner. And yeah, so just one more time, this video is going on a little bit longer than I intended. But the main characters that you're going to encounter: Raskolnikov, Bulgaria, Dunya, Razumikin, Alyona Ivanovna, the moneylender, Lizaveta, Marmeladov, Katerina Ivanovna, Sonia, Svidrigailov, Marfa Petrovna, Luzhin, Lebezyatnikov, Amelia Ivanovna, Zosimov, Zamyatov, and Porfiry Petrovich. And this video has gone on a lot longer than I intended. Those are the names. Those are how I would say them. I am going to end this abruptly. I might make another much shorter video a little bit later before our next class. And anyway, I will see you soon, and I hope you are having a restive but productive weekend. Bye, guys.